I'm Jay Holder with Running USA, and this is 5 questions. We're kicking off this series with Brian Goodell from BibBoards. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Where are you located, Brian? Where are you coming at us from?
So we're in Northern California, right outside of Oakland, about 20 minutes east. The little place called San Ramon is where our offices are. It's where we print and do all of. Yep.
So I see in the background your football jersey. I know you were a D1 football player, wide receiver. You worked in the real estate market, did a lot of great things there. How did you end up as an innovator in the running industry? That's an odd path to take.
Yeah, I guess I've been running my whole life, not like I think runners would say, but running in different ways. Just all the sports I've played, so I've always had an appreciation for running. I invented some things in the past, and with a friend of mine from college, and my current business partner, Rob Greenspoon, he's one of the original idea guys, and he's also a marathoner. So, yeah, I think with Rob Greenspoon being a patent attorney and a runner, both of us got together with this concept. He reached out and thought of an idea, and I kind of elaborated on the fastening world. And with Rob's background being a patent and trademark attorney, and my background of actually creating and inventing products, we came together and, launched this thing in 2017 at Beta Breakers, where there's 50-something thousand people in San Francisco running 10K. But yeah, no, it's been fun.
So we've got a lot of new members, a lot of new faces here in Running USA. I know you've been around for 8 years. A lot of people know you. A lot of people are familiar with BibBoards. But let's talk for a second to the people who have never heard of BibBoards. They don't know what you do. How are you introducing yourself, and how are you introducing the company?
Yeah, BibBoards is a race bib fastener. The goal is to eliminate safety pins from the endurance space. It's a safer alternative, not only for your fingers, but for your apparel and your gear. So no pins, no holes, no magnets is our motto. We also are made from a recyclable material. It's called a Code 6 nylon. We have a new bio-based product launch. So we do have a lot of athletes reach out to us and that are allergic to nickel and safety pins and things like that. And they've also reached out to us for the recyclability component, the reusability component. But BibBoards' ultimate goal is to eliminate safety pins and make a better race experience, not only for the participants, for event directors, run clubs, teams, etc. Whether it's a youth running organization, it's a high school, it's a Division I college, which we sell to all of those and supply with logos on them and make it kind of a fun alternative to safety pins. But yeah, to an Ironman, to an ultra athlete, we have Olympians, we have all kinds. But the ultimate goal is just a way to express yourself and put things on there that, the number one thing that we see on there is loved ones. And right behind that is pets. Think of dogs and cats and birds, stuff that comes across our customizer. But it's something that we find that helps motivate them for that next race. We get almost 100,000 runners on our website every 30 days. And of those 100,000, well, I'd say 90% of them are runners, are doing a race within 30 days. And they want something that's fun that they could put on there and secure their bib to smooth it out, make sure it's not crumbling up or flapping, and then they got something to inspire them. So yeah, BibBoards is all of those things.
And for the race directors watching, who might want to order several thousand sets, there's a sponsorship opportunity here. Can you talk a little bit about the ways that some of your customers are monetizing the product?
Yeah, I think from the sponsorship side of it, when we first started in 2017, we wanted to help the race world use our BibBoards for sponsorship. I'll give you an example. Something like this. This is Abbott, what we've done. And we've always encouraged the race director to go out and ask for, some sort of sponsorship, be part of that sponsorship program that you offer. And then you get that brand on the several of the BibBoards or even on the card. And they can pay for them above and beyond the cost. So it actually goes from a cost to a revenue opportunity. So I'd probably 50% of our business is dealing with race directors and teams and things like that. And then 50% of it is actually the brand. So think of a brand reaching out to us and saying, hey, we're Chick-fil-A and we're going to go do XYZ marathon in this state. And they're buying them from us. But what we want to do is kind of flip that, where we give the tools, the sponsorship kits, the information, the verbiage to go out and say, hey, Chase Bank, hey, even if it's a local bakery, a local brewery, those people want the athlete. If you're putting on a 500, 250 person race, 500 person race, or even a 5,000 person race, the value is in the people. The brands want the people, but they want new activation. I think what I know, because I have a little background in sponsorship, they want something new and innovative. And the best thing I think about BibBoards specifically is instead of a logo on the back of a shirt, these logos and will go on. If they do your race, they might go do Run Disney next week. They might go do Rock and Roll the week after. They might go do a local 5K wine run. One of the things that we have learned from the data is that they're taking our product on to the next event with them. So sponsorship is huge, and it's an easy ask. And I've asked the brands, why us? And they said, we understand the impressions. We understand they're gonna use it. They're gonna keep it. And while they're putting on that bib in that special moment, they're snapping on those 4 pieces with Abbott, Chick-fil-A, Boeing Airlines, New Balance, things like that.
So you've made a pretty good case of why people should move away from pins, but I'm sure there are lots of, let's call them pinheads out there, who would just say, listen, Brian, I order my pins offline. I've been doing it for 30 years. They come, nobody complains. It's no problem. Why would I change? Why would I change what's working?
I think, yeah, the thing we never want to do is sell against free. But I think you can't make any money. One, it's not about it. One, you can't get paid like you can BibBoards. You put BibBoards in registration flow and have people add it to cart. $10. You got 1,000 people, 100 people at it. You just collected, 10 times 100. It's $1,000 in revenue that they've collected. These people want the BibBoards. They don't want safety pins. After 30,000 reviews, Jay, on our website, people are saying, we love these. I hope my next race offers these or gives these away or sells these to us. And the safety pins themselves they're just putting holes in your shirts. They end up, in the bottom of your bag. I've heard that honestly, I've had this before, but they rust, throw it in the corner and there's this rusty old safety pins. And it's a better race experience too. And the best part about it, these athletes, the participants are okay pulling out a credit card and buying not just one set from these races in Reg Flow. And we've run signups at Haku and Race Roster and a lot of the Reg platforms where they're just simply just adding to cart. Race director reaches out and says, hey, I sold 681 of this design and 200 of this one. And we just ship it to the race and they just give it out when they come to pick up their bibs. And it's a really small, lightweight thing as opposed to, I went to Beta Breakers and I saw that people came to pick up their bib and there was 10 tables with roughly 2 boxes of cleaners, safety pins. Not only were they on the table, but they were all over the floor inside the expo, like thousands and thousands of safety pins. A better race experience for them would simply be hey, I paid you $10, $12, $15 for this. Here's your BibBoards. And they're like, yay, now they're excited not to put holes in there. They bought them, they got a logo on it, and they're proud. So it's something that they're asking for. Why not provide it for them?
Also, I'll be old school, but I'm the kind of guy who saves the bibs. And trying to get the pin off the bib after you've run 26 miles in it, like you're ripping the bib apart, just trying to get it off. It's a pain.
Yeah. That's there are pinheads out there. I'll believe it. I can't say that no one. I remember I got my first negative review or negative post on social, which wasn't. This is 2017. It was on social media like Facebook, something. We had an ad. We had 100 positive comments and 200 shares, and I'm like, yes. Then someone says, I ran X race. I'll just say I ran Boston in 1988. It was a special moment. I used safety pins and I got my best time ever. So I'll stick to safety pins. Yeah. Okay.
You're not going to change.
Why don't you try something new, innovative? But no, thinking back, my kids, I have a 13-year-old, 11-year-old, and a 6-year-old. They run. They'll never know what safety pins are. They'll also never know what a phone booth is. They'll never know what a typewriter is. My kids will never, ever use safety pins. I have teams that never use them. I have events that never use safety pins again. They just use BibBoards. It's just part of what they do. It's a revenue opportunity for them. It's a small ask. I always say, we don't really sell anything. We just offer you, here's an option. You just want to secure your bib in a more apparel-friendly way. And they're $10. $12 with a fun logo. and they're happy. They're happy to do it.
And question 5, I know we've talked a lot about the main product, the BibBoards, but you guys do more than that. I don't want to steal too much thunder. I know you've got some big product announcements coming up, but what else does BibBoards make?
So we've actually launched into a belt, and we came out with a premium. It's called the Flip and Fuel belt. They're out there online for $35, $40. We came out with one that is premium, that holds your cell phone, nearly a 20-ounce water bottle, doesn't bounce cheap. It's called the Flip and Fuel belt. But we're customizing those for the events as well. But the Flip and Fuel belt, one of the things is I became a kind of a belt guy through this whole thing, is that it can't spin, chafe, bounce, twist. And this one does that. It's sweat wicking material, water resistant, and it's comfortable. And I've tested it on some elite athletes, Bostoners, some coaches, and then some rec runners. So that, and then I'm launching another product called Race Pace Bands. You can see, actually, I'll just tell you, these are prototypes. You can't even see it, but this will be white riding and this will be black riding, but it'll have your marathon time here. So if you won't have a 4-hour marathon, it's going to be there. So this is low tech. It gives you, basically, it's a personal coach while you're running. If you want to know where you're supposed to be on mile 12, and you don't want to do the math, and your Garmin may or may not have that time or that math for you, you just look down and make sure you're on pace. We have found that not all courses are created equally, meaning some are 26.2, but you actually might run 26.5 or 7 or even further or shorter. And you might run a different path than that course was gauged on. There's also grade adjusted opportunity. So race directors will be able to put a logo on there, send us their times, and offer these up to the athlete when they're signing up. So if I want to do a 3:35 marathon, great, click, add to cart, they show up and they get their pace band. The whole time they're going to be running and looking down, not only seeing your race logo, but their time. Might be something that they take on to the next race as well.
How can race directors reach out?
You can reach out to us. You can have my personal email. I'd love to talk to anybody and walk through any of this too. I can. I have a 5-minute video explaining, these ways to generate revenue for your race year round, pre, post. It's working for quite a few. I think we're in over. I throw the number out there, but it's a lot. It's maybe 2,000 races. But I'd love to share this with anybody that's listening. And you can email me, Brian@BibBoards.com. And you can, or call me or whatever, send me an email. We'll set up a call. If you want me to get you samples or mock-ups or anything to bring your product, your idea to life, we have the sales tools. You literally put your logo on it, sponsorship kit, send it out to 100 sponsors, and just start collecting. We always say happy sponsoring.
We'll link to that video and other information in the YouTube description of this video. Brian Goodell from BibBoards, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing everybody